Welcome back, friends. My name is Rebel Thunder, and I'm about to invade your house with another epic gameplay. We're continuing. This is Resident Evil Village. Now, we just had a date with Cassandra, and it went so bad she pretty much turned into a million bugs and flew out the window. That's very irrespectful. I as a man have feelings too, but apparently not every lady gets it. So now, we're dealing with the main lady of the house. Yes, she heard we're bad, so now she's the one chasing after us. But she's got a different agenda. Yes, she wants to cut our hand off. I knew women were troublesome, but I didn't know they were that bad. But she's about to come somewhere, so I know it's gonna happen. I can't avoid it. It's like when a woman wants a child.
Like I'd let you get away. You'll be sliced to ribbons before you ever see a child.
Yes, she's as evil as she's beautiful.
You will.
And she is very much elegant too. From the dress to the hat. Dude, she is the woman. I wish she'd come to my house. Like, I don't know what I'd do, because she's too tall for me. I'm 6 foot. I'm a short guy compared to her. But dude, she... I wonder where I would have to go to meet Lady Dimitrescu. Like, dude, please come to my house. I will give you my address, Lady D. Yes, I don't care if she chops my hand off. Oh my god, look at that. That's a woman. Now I'm shambling like a werewolf. I'm not looking good. Oh my god, dude. And just to make it worse, he just runs. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I'm not doing so hot at all. Yeah. So now we are on the escape. Hopefully she doesn't. Yeah, dude. We just can't get away. She's persistent. I need to shamble the other direction. Okay, I'm healed. The vision of Lady Dimitrescu gave me fervor, gave me strength crap. Now we're back at the same state. At least I think we're about to come. This part is kind of hard, I have to say. Get that key in there. Open says me. Yeah. You know I'm gonna be trying to get out of here as soon as I can. We're gonna have to save that date for another time. Man, she says, running will get you nowhere. That's the kind of woman you need. Yeah, dude. I'm not very appreciative that she cut my hand off, but women, just like Leon Kennedy says. However, what was I gonna say? Yes, we are continuing. That part wasn't exactly difficult. It just takes getting the right know-how. Because if you're not able to, like, run around, she will catch up. And she'll take you down. Come to think, she could have taken us down right away, but she chose to cut off our hand. Then again, a woman. Women often tend to do things us men don't understand. And, thank God I came prepared with ammunition, because there's a lot of Salamancas just waltzing about the place. And these guys are harder than I thought at first. And I have played this game a couple of times, because they do take a couple bullets and a couple shots to the head. They're probably no worse than zombies, I have to say. Because then again, in Resident Evil, well, there's a bit of a difference. Wait. I don't regret making 30 handgun bullets. I, don't know how they are in Resident Evil 2, the remake, because I was just playing that some time ago. And it's similar because they're zombies that, like, their head bubbles up and down. They're hard to hit. Especially because they shamble and sometimes they pick up velocity. They make a beeline straight towards you. Just like, yeah. But then when least expected, they have like 1 health left. It makes things interesting. But also, too, in this game you can block. Which is much easier than, you know, trying to knife them. Because then, you're not always going to have the resource. It's a very different game in a way. It's a cross between Resident Evil 2, 3 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. Because it's a little more fast-paced, but, you know, it's also not as much. It's kind of the best of both worlds. And honestly, this is a game where I think everybody outdid themselves. Except the guy who created the shotguns, because man, the shotgun's rate of fire just stinks. I don't know who it was, but it sucks big time. Anybody who doesn't agree with me, I recommend you go buy this game, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It sucks. But, because pretty much, yeah, no matter how many times you try to upgrade, you can never upgrade the rate of fire. Resident Evil 4, it has that. I mean, take a look. Rate of fire just stays at 1 all the time. And honestly, I can shoot that gun faster in my sleep than this dude, what's his name? Ethan can... Yeah, because who was the wise dude who said, we're just going to make this gun 1 rate of fire? I mean, come on. It's pretty bare lazy, if you ask me. Kinda stinks. I best hold my nose, because I know a thing or two about stinky... I was just playing the Callisto Protocol, and we're in the waste management section. Well, actually, we're in the Habitat Dome, but if you haven't seen that episode, stay tuned and watch it, because you will not regret. It will be the best 20 minutes of your time well spent, believe me. I promise. One day, right now I'm only doing video games, because I'm not getting a whole bunch of views, and, you know, I have to be practical about things. I got time management, and if I were to make some huge projects right now, which I plan to in the future, nobody would watch them, so it kind of just wouldn't make sense. But I do plan to one day make it big on YouTube, because one day I want to make movies, and I also want to make video games, because I have a gift. I want to make the coolest things anybody has ever saw. But even before I step into a development studio like the big boys, I want to make like VR videos. Yes, you heard it right. Hopefully viewable through the VR PS2 and PS1. I say hopefully because I have... Wait, no. VR1. I got shambled up on the words. What I'm trying to say is that I would watch some PS1 videos. For some reason, not all of them work on the VR in YouTube. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm like confuzzling myself. I must scratch my head, do the key scratch. I believe this is where we were earlier. But yes, I want to make a venture through Raccoon City. We read that already, so no sense reading it again. Yes, I want to make a venture through Raccoon City where you pick up, like, you know, you're going to have zombies here, pretty much. And you can pick up the shotgun. You can pick up... Well, there's going to be multiple ones. And yes, if you guys help me grow this channel, you best believe, I'm going to buy myself a super awesome computer, because the one I have right now, technology has changed a lot. Back in the day, $500 would get you an awesome computer, maybe. Nowadays, $500 just gives you a computer you can barely edit videos with. Yes, it takes like half an hour to process these videos. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, think about going on like a software to make these VR videos, it would be impossible. I wouldn't be able to do that. No, sir. And plus, I don't know how to do it. You know, even if I had the technology. But one day, I do have those plans. You can trust I say that. Why? Because nobody else has done it. I want these videos to exist because I want them to exist for me. And if they exist for me, they might as well exist for everybody else. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, one day I'm going to make awesome Resident Evil, and maybe a whole bunch of other stuff, because there's this thing called Source Filmmaker, and I have no doubt that you could probably somehow make a VR video. There's got to be a way, you know. But there's also the SFM library, and I think Resident Evil has this expansive collection of so much stuff, and at first I'm going to start out with just the tools offered. Maybe one day I'll learn how to be a pro when it comes to all that, and download a whole bunch of different... Resident Evil 4, it wouldn't really be a great point in turning that into a VR experience, because it already is. So I don't know what I would do with that, that'd just be silly. However, how about Ashley's point of... Well, that... No, yes, Ashley's point of view. I can have Leon Kennedy doing all sorts of, like, flips, kicks, all sorts of crazy stuff that doesn't actually happen. Or Ada's campaign with the grapple gun. Yes, I thought of a couple different things. Or hell, even Lewis's story, because why not? I can do it. So I might as well do it. Please be aware, the mistress lipstick is missing. If anyone finds it, could they please return it to her bathroom? It is custom made and therefore very expensive. Grand chambermaid. I'm probably gonna take a hard guess that this is just blood. Some kind of like solidified blood. Oh yeah, probably like wax, fat, I don't know. Cause yeah, fat. You're probably thinking, what fat? What are you talking about? They make soap out of fat. And I don't know how lipstick is made. I'm pretty sure it's like a very early from like the 17 or 1800s because everything existed back then except for television and cars. Actually, cars were like the very late 1800s. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, the world's very first speeding ticket, it was in like 1896 or something. A person was going over 4 times the speed limit. Yes, believe it. They got a ticket because they were going 8 miles an hour. The speed limit was 2. They were going really fast. They could have hit somebody. Oh, and 2, I don't remember, was it Pennsylvania? At one time, they only existed 2 cars in the state of Pennsylvania. And those 2 cars crashed. How? I do not know. 1 day since treatment. The 3 girls have stopped moving. They seem almost dead. An insect flew out of the eldest's mouth. It appears to be a common fly. 2 days since treatment. All 3 bodies are covered in flies. It appears the flies are consuming their flesh. When I opened a window, oh no! Some of the flies dropped dead to the floor. It would seem as if the cold petrifies them. I quickly closed the window to avoid weakening the insects further. 4 days since treatment. All 3 bodies have almost been completely consumed by the insects. All that is left is a dark, writhing, human-shaped mass of creatures. It is just afternoon, and the insects have started to change color. Those around the face turned pale, and those around the lips turned a deep crimson. 6 days since treatment. The mass of insects have transformed into human bodies again. All 3 girls awoke, looking at me like newborns. I sense a bond between us, like mother and daughters. I've already decided their names. Bella, Daniela, Cassandra. I like how it's Bella, Daniela, Cassandra. Wouldn't it be... Wait, no. Because one's Alcina, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela. I think that was intentionally done because it's just like the cream of the crop. The top jewels were going to give them the first letters of the alphabet. And honestly, they didn't give them repeatable names. Like Ashlyn. Well, I was writing some story there, and I heard the name Ashford for a male. I thought that name was cool. I know it sounds like Ashley Graham, but no. When it comes to that, I think that's really smart. You know, they put some real brains into making this game. It wasn't just. Then again, too, of course. I mean, probably how much? Probably cost a couple million, if not a couple tens of millions, to make this game. I know a movie can cost up to 100 million to make, so it would only make sense that they actually take the time to make awesome things. You're not gonna sink a whole bunch of, unless you're Call of Duty. But then again, you probably are being sold to every like 9-year-old out there. Sorry, 9-year-olds, not an offense, but Call of Duty used to be good. Now it's just kind of the same old stuff. If you want to see awesome games, stick to this channel. I will play nothing but the best things. I've been around the block. I'm 27. I know a thing or two what makes a great game. And oh no, I almost had a sword sunk in my shoulder. Take some of this. I don't know if it's this game. No, it's Evil Within. Shotguns do the best when pointed from close range. Or point blank shots, as some people would call them. So, you best believe that I'm doing things just like that. Yes. Now, I'd best be on my way. I'm actually kind of lost. I'm not so sure what I'm supposed to be doing right now. But I know there's got to be a crystal or a gem somewhere here. I played the game before, of course, so I gotta know. However, let me see. I know also I gotta play the piano. People complain because they say this is very, very easy. That this isn't even a puzzle at all. Well, I don't seem to mind. I don't know why a person would want to complain about that. I think it's fine. Oh god. Here we go. Because here's the thing, if they made this where like you had to go all the way back to the beginning every time you messed up, then people would actually be complaining. There's people out there who complain just because they can. Yes. It's just the people of today's society. I used to be that way. I used to be a troll. I used to be like, I hated on everything. Because you got people out there who are making moves, people who are doing awesome things, and I'm like a troll. You suck, pretty much. I'd be like a blindfolded. You suck. I used to be one of those guys. But once you actually achieve stuff in life and you can say, dude, I made some stuff with my bare hands, like bear, like the oso, the Spanish word for bear, the animals with fur that live out in the wilderness. Once you did some awesome stuff, it humbles you. It says, this cost work. This life is not meant to be easy, ladies and gentlemen. And dear viewer, if you made it this far, I am so happy you can, because this brings me to my next point. Yes, life is not supposed to be easy. Even if you have a silver spoon, which means you grew up with everything, if you are not making moves in life and you're just sitting around, doesn't matter if you're poor and you have to work a job, doesn't matter if you're rich and you have all the money in the world, you still should be doing, I recommend get started with ice cold showers. I've kind of had the fortune of being both, so I can... Getting called for some dude. Not recognizing the number. Okay, wait, no. Yeah, if life is easy, doesn't matter where you come from. If life is easy, you have a problem. Yes. Scientific name, none. Sizes 5 to 6 centimeters. Similar body structure to the blowflies, although there are differences in the head. They are carnivorous and vigorously consume meat. In order to catch unsuspecting prey, they'll gather using pheromones to mimic a human. They are produced when a kadu lays eggs in its host, but the flies themselves are unable to reproduce. Not kadu, kadao. I don't know how it's pronounced. They are weak to sudden drops in temperature, especially if the temperature drops below 10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. Their metabolism lowers and they go into a dormant cryptobiotic state, similar to the cryptobiosis of tardigrade of Polypeldium vankerpedilkai. Why is there a question mark? That's not a question. I don't know who put a question mark there. Clearly, they're not using their brain. But I'm pretty sure, yes, there's a diamond somewhere here. And as the merchant says, the big jolly boy. Here we go. No, that's just their reflection. As the big jolly boy says, where there's coin to be made. So I'm gonna pick it up. Voicemail. Someone give me a call. Now I'm hearing like crazy trumpets. Elephant trumpets. But no, I got to, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll probably come across it later. Opera Hall. Wait, no, this doesn't count as the upstairs. Dude, I'm missing so much crap. Dude. This is probably gonna be the worst episode ever. Nobody's gonna wanna watch this. And dear viewer, you probably haven't even made it this far. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to. It was right in front of me. I get to burpee burps. And now I gotta pee. Oh no. So I'm gonna unlock this. And, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we're coming to a conclusion. I gotta figure out where I'm supposed to go, honestly, because I really haven't a clue. But maybe I'll go back this way. I'm trying to figure out where I take the daughters out, because that's gonna point me in the right direction. However, unfortunately, I must be ending the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.